Hey guys, it's ConnectSnader41 here, and I thought since eventually they were going to be making some more Mario Kart games, probably a new one might be coming out next year or whatever, I just thought I'd get a predictions video about trying to predict these Mario Kart games. Now, it's not really going to be so much of a wish list, but it's going to be more of like actually trying to see if my predictions can be like kind of accurate. So some of you may highly disagree with some of my picks. So first, let's start out with the character roster. Alright, so we got a blank roster. Let's start out with filling in all the characters that have ever been in Mario Kart, and go from there. We got the following characters that have been in Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64's editions, the editions from Double Dash, the editions from DS, Wii, 7, and 8 Deluxe. Which, honestly, looks like a pretty good roster. However, for Mario Kart 9, I don't think this will be the roster. First of all, I think this is going to be more focused in the Mario universe instead of the Nintendo as a whole. And I think if Nintendo really wanted to feature characters from Nintendo, like in different franchises like Kirby and The Legend of Zelda and Splatoon and Animal Crossing and all that, they would just have a Nintendo cart instead of a Mario Kart. Which is why I think all the characters from different franchises like Rob, Link, the Villagers, Isabelle, and the Inklings aren't going to return in this next Mario Kart. I think they're going to be focusing more on the Mario universe instead of the greater Nintendo universe. I also don't think Wiggler is coming back because, let's be honest, that character was a mistake. Honey Queen, I don't think is coming back because Nintendo hasn't really referenced them since Mario Galaxy 2. Same thing with Petey Piranha. They haven't really mentioned him since Super Mario Galaxy. So I do want him, honestly, in my dream roster. I really want Petey Piranha to come back. He's a great character, but I don't think Nintendo will reasonably bring him back. And Donkey Kong Jr. is so obscure that everyone just kind of thinks he's Donkey Kong anyway. So I don't think Donkey Kong Jr. is coming back. He's kind of been forgotten about. Well, that's all the returning characters. What about some new ones? What new characters could possibly come to Mario Kart? First of all, I think it's likely that all the characters from Mario Kart that were introduced in Mario Kart Tour are probably going to be in Mario Kart 9, like the different skins of the Hammer Bro, Dixie Kong, Monty Mole, Pauline, Peachette, as well as all of the additional skins that were of different characters that already exist that you can see on the screen here. That actually looks kind of messy now that I think about it. But either way, I think most of those skins as well as those characters have a pretty good shot of coming into the new Mario Kart on the console. Because it wouldn't make sense for Nintendo to keep fan favorites that finally got in, like Hammer Bro and Dixie Kong, in just a phone game. And just on a quick side note, these specific skins at the bottom I don't think will come to Mario Kart 9 because they are seasonal, whether it being for Halloween, Christmas, Easter, or Valentine's Day. I just don't think seasonal costumes will come. But I think all the other ones, other costumes of different characters that were introduced in Mario Kart Tour, do have a good shot coming into the new Mario Kart. And will probably be palette swaps, like the colored Shy Guys and Yoshis that were in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. As for our first completely new character in Mario Kart that I think they'll add, I think it'll be Baby Wario. I know, yeah, a lot of you will be surprised, but they recently added him to Dr. Mario World. So apparently they still do know that he exists, which means I think he has a good shot going into Mario Kart 9. Our next character, Goomba. He's been a staple in the Mario series for so long. It's been a surprise that he hasn't become a playable character by now. And I mean, we never thought we got characters like Monty Mole and Hammer Bro in Mario Kart, and yet they got in. So I think Goomba also has a good shot. Our next character, Professor Egad. And at the same time, we never thought we'd get Hammer Bro or Monty Mole in a Mario Kart game, and they added him to Mario Kart Tour. So I think, especially since they referenced King Boo's Luigi's Mansion skin, I really think because of that, Egad has a good chance of being a new character in the Mario Kart series. He's been heavily requested by fans, and I think he has a good shot. Our next character, Kamek. I think it's possible. I don't think he has as good a chance as maybe some of the other characters I mentioned before here, but I do think Kamek probably has a shot, although to a much less, he has less of a chance than the others, but I still think it's significant enough to put him on the roster. The next character is Boom Boom. He appeared in Super Mario 3D World and Mario Maker 2, and I think he has a good shot of getting into Mario Kart 9, just because he was in those really recent games, and Nintendo tends to put the most characters from their most recent games into Mario Kart. Like, for example, with Mario Kart Wii, it was Rosalina from Mario Galaxy, and in Mario Kart 7, it was the Honey Hive Queen because she was in Galaxy 2. And in Double Dash, Baby Mario and Baby Luigi came in because they were just in Superstar Saga, which was released in the Game Boy that same year Double Dash came out. And now you may think there's no more question marks on the screen, so that's it for the character roster. Well, actually, I think that there are 3 quote-unquote characters that'll just become palette swaps, or skins, with other mainstay Mario characters. Instead of being their own separate characters, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, and Troopa will just be, skins of Mario, Peach, and Koopa Troopa respectively, which then opens 3 new character slots for some more characters, like Captain Toad. I think Captain Toad has a very good shot at becoming the next playable character in Mario Kart 9. And in addition to that, the following different colors of Toad, as well as Fire Toad, could also become palette swaps for Toad, just like with Shy Guy and Yoshi, and possibly even Koopa Troopa. After that, Cappy. Pauline is returning from Mario Odyssey, so it would make sense for Cappy to also come too. The final character is Luigi. I think he has a good shot because, like what I said for Egad, classic Luigi's Mansion King Boo was in Mario Kart Tour, so I think he will, I think they could definitely add Luigi, either as a character or palette swap. I'm basing most of this off of what they added to Mario Kart Tour, so depending on any future updates that come out after I make this video, my thoughts may change. So this is what I think the final roster will look like, and with all the different skins, with all the characters, but if that's too much for your eyes, then here's a much cleaner version without the palette swaps. Now it's time for carts. I think Nintendo will do the cart customization that they used in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that will come back. However, I think they will use way more cart ports than in Mario Kart 8. These carts will return for Mario Kart Double Dash. I think they have a good shot because they were in Mario Kart Tour. Then the following carts will return from Mario Kart DS. That most of these were also in Mario Kart Tour. However, specifically the Dry Bomber and the Gold Mantis, because they were fan favorites. Then these carts and bikes will come from Mario Kart Wii, even though the Mini Beast, the Dolphin Dasher, and the Wario bike weren't in Mario Kart Tour at the making of this video. They're still fan favorites, and I do think there's a high chance that they will come back. And yes, I acknowledge that the Flame Runner is also a fan favorite, but I don't think that's coming back because everybody just mains Funky Kong on the Flame Runner online, and it's so annoying, and it was way too OP, and Nintendo should definitely not bring that back. Oh crap, I think I just insulted basically the entire competitive Mario Kart Wii community. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I'll always just be a dry bones bullet bike kind of dude. The following carts will return from Mario Kart 7, which is almost all of them because they were all in Mario Kart Tour. And these carts and bikes and ATVs will return from Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe. And finally, these carts that were all introduced in Mario Kart Tour. And if you're counting, which you're probably not, that totals up to 66 vehicles. And I think there'll probably be 14 new, which I have no idea what they're going to be. Probably some based on Odyssey, which will count for 80 total carts. But I won't get into it now. I do also think that there will be 45 wheels to choose from and 30 gliders. You can't really have a Mario Kart game without items, so let's go over the items that will return. First, returning from Super Mario Kart, the banana peel, green shell, red shell, mushroom, star, boo, and lightning will all return. I do not think the feather will return because it's not really useful in modern tracks. Or the coin, because I do not want this to return. It's incredibly popular. It's incredibly unpopular. Get this out of Mario Kart 8, please. Just get rid of the coin item, period. For Mario Kart 64, I think the triple mushroom, golden mushroom, fake item box, triple green shells, triple red shells, blue shell, and triple bananas will also return. For Mario Kart Double Dash, the items that will return, I do think the hearts and the Yoshi and Birdo egg, as well as the giant banana, Bowser shell, and Bob-omb will all return, because all those items returned as special items in Mario Kart Tour. However, I don't think the fireballs will return because this item did return in Mario Kart Tour, but the Fire Flower power-up for Mario Kart 7 is a lot more better in my opinion, and it's also from a more recent entry, so they'll probably be more likely to use that. And the Chain Chomp also won't return because I believe the Bullet Bill will be used instead. It's a bigger staple of Mario Kart than the Chain Chomp. Then, for Mario Kart DS, the Blooper will return, as well as the aforementioned Bullet Bill. Then, in Mario Kart Wii, I do think the Mega Mushroom will return because they put it in Mario Kart Tour, but the Thundercloud won't return because it's unpopular, and the Power Block won't return because it hasn't really been used much, and I really don't see anybody begging Nintendo for that item to come back, though I personally think it was a great item. Then for Mario Kart 7, I think the Fire Flower will return, but the Super Leaf and the Lucky 7 will not return because the Super Leaf was kind of just to promote Super Mario 3D Land, and the Lucky 7 Mario Kart 9 might have its own version, and it wouldn't make sense for the Lucky 7 to go into Mario Kart 9. Then from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the Boomerang Flower will probably return, and the Super Horn will also return. Although personally, I don't really like the Super Horn. I think like you should actually be able to use skill in order to dodge a blue shell, like with the mushroom, like in Mario Kart Wii and 7. But I do think Nintendo will probably bring it back. Although the potted piranha plant, I do not think will return because that was used to promote Super Mario 3D World. And the Crazy 8, again, same thing with the Lucky 7. Then for Mario Kart Tour, I think that most of the items from Mario Kart Tour do have a good chance of returning. Like the double Bob-omb, that was a cool item. The Ice Flower, finally, like literally everybody wanted an Ice Flower in Mario Kart, and now we finally got it. Why would they put it just in the phone game and not in the console game? Then the Banana Barrels, Mushroom Cannon, Bob-omb Cannon, and Coin Box do have a pretty good chance of returning, I would say. And the Hammer too. I don't think the Bubble will return. I think it's too similar to the Bullet Bill, as well as the Star and Mega Mushroom. We already have items that make you invincible, so we don't really need them. There's no really any reason to have the Bubble. They were just invented as kind of a placeholder special item for the baby characters. Then the Dash Ring is basically just triple mushrooms. So triple mushrooms, except other people could use them. So I don't think those will come back either. Which makes for a total of 33 items, and I think there will probably be 3 new ones, making for a total of 36. Special items or not? I don't know if they will add special items, but I think it's possible they could make it special items just based on the sheer amount of characters that will probably be in the game. Okay, I think for retro tracks, there's probably going to be way more than 16, but for now, I think I'm just going to focus on the Shell, Banana, Leaf, and Lightning Cups because those are probably going to be guaranteed to return, and I really don't know what they're going to do with DLC tracks. For Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they seem to be pretty unpredictable with them, so we're just going to cover the 4 basic retro tracks. The first course is going to be DS Figure 8 Circuit, and while this is a basic course, this is precisely why it's going to be the first course of the Shell Cup, because the first Mushroom Cup and the Shell Cup are kind of used to used to fill easier courses, and then as the tracks go on, they're going to become more and more difficult. Next up is GBA Riverside Park. I think they could add a underwater section in the middle and a gliding section at the end, and really spice up this track. I also think they can make the jungle that's surrounding the river more dense to be more visually appealing. Next up is SNES Choco Island 1, and I think this is also going to be a relatively flat and simple track, and with the addition of mud to add a new slippery mechanic. And then with Wii Toad's Factory, you'll be putting all those skills to the test with a mud section at the end, an underwater section when you come outside the factory, and a gliding section where the conveyors used to be. It'll be fast-paced, and it'll be a nice reflection of what the previous courses taught you. Then the first course of the Banana Cup will be Wii U Electrodrome. This will introduce players to anti-gravity, and it's just a rockin' course overall, and I think it has a good shot at returning. Next up is another fan favorite, Wii DK Summit. The way you go into a cannon and you shoot into the mountain, and then you go down it, similar to DK Mountain from the Double Dash. It's a really cool course, and I think Mario Kart 8's Mount Wario was heavily inspired by it, but I don't think Mount Wario will make it in because of another track that I put in that's coming up soon. After that is N64 Wario Stadium. It's the only track from Mario Kart 64 that hasn't been remade yet, so I think there's a very good chance that Nintendo is going to add this into Mario Kart 9. What I think they could do is they could elevate it a bit to, instead of just having it being flat all the time, to make it feel more exciting, instead of just a flat stadium with a lot of sharp turns, which I think was really the only problem with the original. And the final course is GBA Sunset Wilds, which I think was definitely one of the best GBA tracks. And it was really the only track in the Mario Kart franchise that, really it changes color aesthetically as you go on through the course. It starts out at the beginning of sunset, and then it turns into nighttime. I think it's a really interesting take on on just your typical desert course, and definitely, in my opinion, one of the best tracks in Mario Kart franchise, and definitely deserves some recognition. The first course of the Leap Cup will be SNES Mario Circuit 4. SNES Mario Circuit 1 got into Mario Kart DS, SNES Mario Circuit 3 got into Mario Kart Wii, and SNES Mario Circuit 2 got into Mario Kart 7. And I think even though that there wasn't any Mario Circuit in Mario Kart 8, now I think there's going to be a Mario Circuit in Mario Kart 9, and this will probably be the one to fill it. Then after that is the bustling GCN Mushroom City. I chose this over Wii Moonview Highway because there are already 2 tracks from the Wii, and there's only one other track that I'm choosing for Mario Kart Double Dash. And I think GCN Mushroom City has involves a lot of strategy because of all the branching paths you can take. Next up is GBA Cheep Cheep Island. I think this is one of the more impressive beach tracks from the Mario Kart series, and it's one of the more complicated tracks from the Mario Kart Super Circuit game. And I think it's going to be chosen for its isolation. Other beach tracks in the Mario Kart series are usually just on a beach on the coast of some of some other region or something, but GBA Cheep Cheep Island is an island in the middle of nowhere. Like, really, for miles, all you see is just ocean. And I also think that the color of the water is also really unique to that course. The final course in the Leaf Cup will be 3DS Maka Woohoo. I think, just like Sunset Wilds, this course also takes place during sunset, and the gliding section at the end is really stunning, and it was like, I found it to be really beautiful when I first played on the track. Then for the Lightning Cup, we have Wii U Sunshine Airport. This course was one of the best in Mario Kart 8, and I think out of Wii U tracks, this one is the most unique from all the other different themes, versus desert, ice, or whatever. We've never really had like an airport course before. Then for our ice course, we'll have 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. I think it's a beautiful course, and it's really one of the only ones that's Rosalina themed. Then I think they're going to end Mario Kart 9's Lightning Cup with a Bowser's Castle and a Rainbow Road, and I don't think the GBA Rainbow Road is going to make it in. So instead we're going to get GBA Bowser Castle 4, because the first 3 Bowser's Castles were in DS, Wii, and 7, and it didn't make sense why GBA Bowser Castle 4 wasn't in Mario Kart 8, so I think we're going to get that in Mario Kart 9. Plus, in my opinion, it's the best and the most complicated track in Mario Kart Super Circuit, which means this final track is going to be GCN Rainbow Road. I really think that the Rainbow Road from the GameCube has a good shot, because they've been really going kind of... In Mario Kart 7 they had SNES Rainbow Road, then in Mario Kart 8 they had N64 Rainbow Road. However, because of all the previously mentioned GBA courses, I do think that instead they're going to go with GCN Rainbow Road. And also because, in my opinion, GCN Rainbow Road is a much better and diverse course than the GBA Rainbow Road. So I do think the GCN Rainbow Road will get in and will finalize the 16 original retro tracks. As for modes in this new Mario Kart, I think they'll stick with 50cc, 100, 150, and 200. However, instead of mirror mode, I think there will be reverse mode instead, where you'll be able to play it in 50, 100, 150, or 200cc in order to promote it. The other modes will be time trials, where it'll work similar to Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8, where you can save other people's ghosts and look at the leaderboards online to see who has the best time. The customization for versus races from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think, will definitely make a return in Mario Kart 9. And Mario Kart 8's battle mode really, not Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's battle mode was really good, and it was like, the fans loved it, and I think Shine Thief and Coin Runners can return, and they'll remain mostly the same, in addition to Bob-omb Blast. Balloon Battle, however, I think will be split between Classic Mode and Modern Mode, where the Classic Mode will be similar to Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart Super Circuit, where it's just elimination. When you lose all your balloons, you're just eliminated. I think this could really work online, and the other option will be Modern Balloon Battle, which is more similar to that of Mario Kart Wii's, Mario Kart 7's, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where you score points with Balloon Battle. However, if you lose, you just lose half your score. Renegade Roundup, however, will be cut in favor of a new game mode that's similar to it, which will be Capture the Flag. Instead of Renegade Roundup, where it's basically cops and robbers, Capture the Flag, you'll still have the piranha plants and stuff, and there will still be jails, and you still have to free the other teammates from your jails. However, this time, there will be a flag in the center of each side's territory, and you'll have to bring it back to your own side. And I think it'll be a neat way to, because there will really be no score or anything, it's just a bunch of players working together to bring the flag back to your own side. And there will be safe zones where you won't be able to get caught inside your own territory. However, if you go into other people's territory, then you can get caught. That really makes a placement for guards and moving around, and it would be pretty crazy, especially with the items that exist in Mario Kart. Next, I think a missions mode is definitely going to return, as Mario Kart Tour had something similar with its challenges. And I think the main focus for the mission mode is going to be online support. In Mario Kart DS, there was a single-player missions mode. However, in Mario Kart Wii, there were tournaments where there were every couple months there would be special challenges where you could participate in these challenges, or get the highest score or get the fastest time against other players, whether you're friends or other people around the world. And I think if Mario Kart 9 would have these kinds of missions, I think they would do both. They would have a set that are single-player, the single-player missions, and then every couple months they'll have a different online tournament where you can compete against your friends to see who's the best, who can score the most points in the challenge, or who can get the best time, if it's something like that. I think Mario Kart TV will probably return from Mario Kart 8, however it'll be enhanced to be more like Snapshot mode from Super Mario Odyssey, where you can record more of the race, and you have more customization, different filters, and you can change the angle. And that's it for everything I think is going to be in the game. Now just one last thing, like an idea I was kind of thinking of was a track builder, and I think I really don't think that Nintendo is probably going to do this with their next Mario Kart, but it is. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it is just something that I really want to see. And like, if Nintendo did make Super Mario Maker and even Mario Maker 2, so I think it's definitely possible, but I think it's highly unlikely that Nintendo will make it the gimmick of their next Mario Kart game. However, honestly, I can't really see anything else being the main staple. Like, they made tricks in tricks, bikes, and good online in Mario Kart Wii, underwater and driving and gliding in Mario Kart 7, anti-gravity in Mario Kart 8. What's next? Warping? I really don't know. So, but yeah, no, this guy called G Willers, in his 15-minute video, he actually explains it really well. So if you want to learn more about like what a Mario Kart Maker could look like, definitely check out his video. I checked out his video while I was making this video, and I thought it was he explained everything really well. And my idea of a Mario Kart Maker is actually similar to his. So, but until then, I guess the closest thing we'll get to having a track builder is the Mario Kart Connect sets, which actually, honestly, if you want to do like a track builder, they work really well. You can not only like increase the elevation, but feature like jumps. You can really even make your own enemies and obstacles. You can actually really be creative with that. So I guess that's it for this video. This video is already long enough, so I don't really need to say anything else. If you feel like it, like and subscribe. I guess it's just kind of more of a podcast, really, than anything else. And I guess there's a place for me to say like what I think was what Nintendo's probably going to add and what I don't think they're going to add based on what they've done in previous games. And I'll see you all later.